Hello everyone, I am Erika of BEADIngschool.com and you are watching No One Has to Bead Alone, my weekly workshop to make sure that every beader all around the world has company. Please let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me. I would love to know if the technical stuff is all right before we would start beading the STELLATA necklace. Sarah says right away that she can see me and she can hear me. Thank you so much, Sarah. Yosin is here. Who are Yosin? 𝐂𝐻𝐿, and Cynthia is here. Miriam is here. Dev, indeed, hello again. Teresa, Jessica, Irina, Sherry, Kata is here. Honey, Jennifer, Donna, Deb, Corinne. Wonderful. So today we are going to bead another jewel from the Tulip Mania collection. This time it was designed by my friend and colleague Zuzi, member of the creative team here at Beading School. And STELLATA is also a name of a type of a tulip, just like the other ones that we were beading earlier. I'm super happy to see in the Beading School Club that you are already enjoying your beads and immersing in the Tulip Mania mood and creating the jewels, not only in the original colors, but also in your own personalized versions. I love how you have been playing with the whatever, however I should pronounce it. I should probably listen to it on Wikipedia or something. And also for the new December motif. And in the meanwhile, also Nancy joined us, Antoinette, Cindy is here, Marianne, Gunel, Belinda, Malka, Sandra. Honey is asking, why did I win a prize? We sent a little gift to everyone who participated in the Art Deco challenge, and as you submitted a beautiful necklace, then we contacted you too. Margareta is here too. Zuzi, our designer. Anita, Sunshine. So, and Iris is here too. So the tutorial, it's already available at noonehas2beadalone.com. As always, if you navigate there, then this is what you will see, and you can decide to download the support version for free. You need to do that within 3 days, or you can with the button support the broadcast, put the tutorial in your shopping basket and check out as you do it with other things too. We will start with the Peyote Bezel, and I will not be showing that part today on the broadcast because we have done it many times. So if you don't have your Peyote Bezel yet, then please start bezeling the cabochon. You will need 22 MIYUKI DELICA beads in the first circle. It is an 8mm cabochon. You can use RIVOLI, you can use a CHATON, and yeah, it is up to you if it's a PRECIOSA crystal or a glass. If you haven't done a Peyote Bezel yet, and this is going to be your first time, exciting, then at beadingschool.com in the bead shop, I have a tutorial waiting for you called Forget Me Not. It is a free tutorial to teach you the basics, and you can learn from that how to bezel cabochons with peyote. It's really important, this technique, many times. We start with this or we use it somewhere along the way. So if you are not yet comfortable with Peyote Bezels, Forget-Me-Not is waiting for you. And okay, Teresa is almost done. Teresa is a super good student. So in the meanwhile, also Nicolene, Ginny, Tina joined us, and Lutka also. So we will be beading today the Stellata, and you can watch the live video from the Beading School Club and from the Beading School Facebook page. And later we will also upload it on our Facebook channel, of course. And I will now start to explain what you need and so on. And from now, let's stick to questions that concern the Stellata motif. And then at the end, I am very happy to answer all your questions regarding other things, anything that comes to your mind. So let's start. I will already show you an alternate color combination. Since this is Zuzi's motif, then I wanted to make sure that I know how to bead it. Of course, it was very easy to follow the tutorial that she prepared for you, but still I'm showing it to you during a live broadcast. So I got anxious and quickly I beaded already the Stellata in my first color combination. And while looking at it, I will also explain what you will need for your own Stellata. So you need an 8mm cabochon in the middle. I used a PRECIOSA turquoise CHATON. Then you will need 2-hole dagger beads, and these are 5 times 16 millimeters big. The color that I am using, it comes from the signature box. And just fun fact that we are making lots of designs now with dagger beads, and I nearly ran out of them. I had to look through all my messy bead mats and all my, bit of a chaos here to find enough for my prototype and also to find enough for the one that I am beading now. So yeah, for a little while I was anxious about it. But yeah, I got back to the signature box and I used up what was inside for my prototype, and then I will move on for the pretty pink ones from the Tulip Mania box when we are now beading together. You will also need you will also need some 3mm PRECIOSA BICONE beads. I'm using blue zircon AB in this version, and then some seed beads. MIYUKI DELICA size 11s and round seed beads, also MIYUKI size 15 and size 11. This is how it looks from the back. This is how it looks from the front. And let's see if you have any questions about the material lists. I will now check the comments. Anna is here, welcome. Jill says, these projects are truly changing my opinion of daggers. That's really nice to hear, actually, Jill. Daggers are great. Sangeeta is here. And Sunshine says, is this part list in the Tulip Mania Academy section? I have not yet separated my box to make sure I have enough for everything. Then I really recommend to start with there is an article in the virtual classroom of the Beading School Academy where you see all the jewels that we have designed so far, complete with material lists. For sure, you have everything for the 2 signature jewels and then lots of extras. So I recommend putting aside beads at the very beginning for the signature jewels if you want to bead them, and then select the ones and put aside mini kits for the other projects. There are always so many projects coming for a box that sometimes you need to add something from your own stash. We also work with fellow designers to provide you like lots of possibilities. So Ruxandra will have another pattern this month too, and also Alicia and Gina might have. So yeah, start by making mini kits. That's a good strategy. And then let's see. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad that you like the colors. Brit Marie is here too, and Helena is here too. So if you don't have questions about the material list, then let's see the steps. Just a moment. This is, by the way, Susie's original, with the rose opal CHATON in the middle, and the pretty pink daggers, and the light amethyst BICONE beads, and in her case, everything comes from the Tulip Mania box. So this is how it will look like if you select the colors from the Tulip Mania box. For my second variation, I needed to mix up my colors a little bit because I already used up quite a lot from my box, so I needed to make some substitutes. And Nancy is asking, what is the name of this color? Unfortunately, I don't remember it now. Would you please be so good to ask this question in the Beading School Club, to post it as a separate post, and I will look it up for you when we finish beading together. I'm not 100% sure about this name, so I don't want to confuse you. Thank you, Nancy. And let's start beading. Here are my steps, and this is my Peyote Bezel. So I used actually a Crystal Sunshine CHATON from PRECIOSA. I love the pinkish, orangish, yellowish tones of it. And then the bezel, it is made from colors from the Tulip Mania box. So after I finished my bezel, then I actually decided to secure and trim my tail thread. I'm again working with the 0.12mm FIRELINE, my usual one, 4LV, and a size 11 tulip beading needle. I finished bezeling by beading through a MIYUKI DELICA bead in the middle row of the bezel. I have 3 rows of MIYUKI DELICA in the middle. I have 1 row of round 15 on the front. For a CHATON, I feel that it is enough. And then on the back, I have 2 rows of round 15s. So I start step 2 from a MIYUKI DELICA in the middle row. And what I'm going to do now is that I pick up 3 pieces of MIYUKI delicas, and I bead through the next bead that is in the same row of the bezel. So when I pull my thread, then the beads are arranged in a little V shape in a picot. And again, I'm in the same position as before, exiting a DELICA bead in the middle row. And I do the same. I pick up 3 DELICA beads and I bead through the next DELICA in the same row. And this is how I bead all around my bezel. It means that since there are 22 beads in the first circle of the bezel, now there are 11 gaps that I need to fill in with the groups of 3 MIYUKI delicas. And Teresa says she's mixing colors a little bit. She says, I'm pinged out. It can happen. It can happen that we are fed up with the color for a while, I think. Helga, hi. Vanya, I see your name as you typed it in, but I don't see your name. Like, I see you as Facebook user. And hi, Vanya. And hi, Esther. And Sandra says she can't hear me. I hope that others can hear me. It was all right a little while ago. It should be all right. Please, can you type it in if you can still hear me? Susie is mentioning hiccups on Facebook. I actually also noticed some hiccups that I answered some comments, I answered some questions, on some I even got a response, and then I don't see my comments anymore, so it's strange. Okay, you see that you write that you can hear me. Then, Sandra, it must be something on your side, unfortunately. Please try reloading. Try if your speakers are on. But it seems that it's working. Constance is here. Marta. 60 beaders today. 60 from the Beading School Club and the page watching together. So that's a combined number that I see. I am now adding the last group of 3 MIYUKI DELICA beads, and then I actually like to bead until my exit point in this step, in step 2, should be a middle bead in a group of 3 that I like to bead until I am exiting the second new group, the bead in the second new group. I don't like to start right away. So this is how it looks like, a little sunflower at the moment. Okay, Sandra says that that closing it and opening it again helped. I'm glad. So this is how it should look at the moment. Let me know how is it going so far. And in the meanwhile, I will prepare 11 dagger beads. Okay, I have 13 altogether, so I really hope that nothing will break, nothing will fall to the ground, or nothing has a clogged hole. Patty, hi, good to see you also. So if you are good after step 2, then in step 3, you need to add the dagger beads. Always, in the case of dagger beads, I think they are a little bit more risky in this than other beads, that I see clogged holes more often than with other shapes. So always take a good look or push your needle through the second hole too, so you don't get surprised later. So in step 3, I'm exiting the middle DELICA out of a group of 3. I pick up the dagger bead and then I bead through the next bead in the same position, the next DELICA in the middle of a group of 3. And please don't worry if at this point the daggers don't seem to be sturdy yet, because there are plenty of extra steps when they should become sturdy. And yeah, Sandra is asking, did you check the holes? Indeed, I'm doing it as we go. I really don't want to be surprised. I think the pinkish, purplish, little bit orangish version of STELLATA will be super pretty, so I would love to wear it later and don't end up with a half done pendant. I'm trying to pull the thread as much as possible, but I'm not like forcing it. So it should be as tight as possible, but no aggression, please. I'm checking every one of the beads. And I just found one which has a clogged hole, so I will put it aside. So I still have one spare bead. Please keep me all fingers crossed. That I will have enough. Connie says, I bought a new bag and I think I will glue the STELLATA on it. What an interesting idea, Connie. I would be really curious to see that. You can glue it on, you can make it into a brooch if the material of the bag allows it, and pin the brooch on the bag maybe. So I guess you are matching the colors of your STELLATA to the bag. What kind of colors are those? Adding the last dagger, and it's all right. I have 11 pieces without clogged holes, so I'm good. And Connie says it's black. Oh wow! So you will have a black tulip, STELLATA tulip. It will be really elegant. And I finish step 3 by beading until I am exiting at least the second dagger, so I don't start right away after the first one. And Margareta has an interesting question. Hi, Erika. Are you working with both hands? Sometimes you do it with right and today with your left. That's amazing. So you can change it if you want to. I will show you a trick. I think I had my camera accidentally on mirror. So I can... I can't. So I actually can mirror the camera on the phone that I am using as a camera and on the broadcasting program too. So sometimes if I mirror them both, then accidentally, then you see something else than what's the reality. So now to make sure that it's not mirrored. Where do I have the needle? Left hand or right hand? Because it's not always how how I see it on the screen, it's not always how you see it. So where do I have the needle now? In my left hand or in my right hand? And then I will mirror it if necessary. Martha says she can use both her hands. That's amazing. Hi, Terry. Indeed, I am a righty. Luckily, because in the past I had like 4 times a broken bone in my left hand, but never in my right. So that's a big luck. And okay, you say that my right hand is now with the needle. So yeah, okay. everything is good now. Martina says it is helpful so you can teach left-handed people as well. Yeah, unfortunately I can't bead with left hand, but Zuzi is actually a lefty, so she could do that. And let's move on to the next step, step 4. And this is an interesting one. We need some round 11s to make it happen, and we are going to fill in the round 11s in between the inside holes, the already used holes of the daggers. So I'm exiting the inside hole of the dagger, the first hole of the dagger. I pick up a round 11, and then I bead through the next one. What's interesting about this is that I need to pull my thread a little bit, so the round 11 should sit on top of the DELICA bead instead of next to it. So with this step, the flower will get a little bit of a 3D effect. I'm showing you now my first version. So the CHATON is a little bit deeper in this case, and the daggers are on a bit higher level. So when I pull my thread, then they get pulled up on top of the DELICA beads that were in the middle of the groups of 3. So keep doing that. Don't leave the pulling part until the very end, because then it might happen that the tension is not even in your thread. Try already pulling them up as you go. Nancy says this flower motif brings happiness. Indeed, I think these blooming motifs are perfect for springtime, for new beginnings, and to focus on something beautiful. And I'm really hope that they create. I'm really happy that they create this effect for you. They also make me happy. So this step is super fast. The next one will be a little bit harder, as we are going to fill in some small spaces. I picked up my last round 11, and then I continue beading through a couple more beads. I don't pull the thread like absolutely tight, but it is on the tight side. So this is how it looks like at the moment. How is it going, ladies? I'm curious. Please let me know. In the next step, by the way, I'm going to work with round 15 MIYUKI seed beads. So the round 15s that I added in the bezel are of the same color as the round 11s in between the dagger beads. You can, of course, create your own version. This is just what I went for at the moment. And now I'm going to use another color of the round 15s to make this part a bit more in focus by the darker shade. So I start by exiting a round 11 that is in between the dagger beads. I pick up a round 15 and then I bead through the MIYUKI DELICA that is in the front row of the bezel in one line with the round 11 that I was exiting before picking up the round 15. I pull my thread, I bead back through the round 15 towards the round 11, and then I finish by beading through round 11, dagger, and round 11. And now I'm in the same position and I'm doing the same again, exiting around 11, picking up around 15, beading through a DELICA bead that is in one line with the round 11 and sits in the front row of the bezel. I gently pull my thread, I bead back through the round 15, and I bead, I bead it under the, sorry, I need to pick this out because I think I bead it through the FIRELINE or something is not all right there about my thread. So I bead back through the round 15, and then I bead through round 11, dagger, and round 11. And I repeat this over and over again, in total 11 times. This is a little bit tricky part, so please let me know how is it going, how do you like this step, if you want me to explain it in detail one more time. Vania is asking if the website is down. Unfortunately, I can't check now the website. I hope it's not, but if it is down, then Adam is actually getting immediately a notification on his phone if there is something wrong on the website. So if that is the case, then he probably already knows about it. But I hope it's not. So let me know, ladies, how is this step going for you? When I was doing it for the first time with my prototype, then I found it a little bit tricky and the space seemed to be too tight, but now with my second one, it goes a lot better. Margarete is asking, you went back in the size 15 that you just added. Indeed. So I'm exiting the round 11. Thanks for your question, Margareta. I'm exiting the round 11. I picked up the round 15. I bead through the DELICA that is in one line with the round 11. I bead back through the round 15. And then I bead through the same round 11 and the next dagger and the next round 11 to get in position again. So, did this help, Margarete? Yosin says this is the same technique as in the Dahlia motif. Indeed, it's funny because I think every one of us who are designing jewels or designing anything else for that matter, we do have our favorite colors. We do have our favorite techniques. We do have our favorite shapes. So that's why that's why someone's style can become recognizable, I guess. And I think this is a new favorite detail that Zuzi started to use recently. So Margareta is asking, all in the same direction. I'm beading through it. Actually, I'm beading back through it. So I'm entering the round 15 from the direction as I was exiting it, creating like a loop. But it would work actually the other way too, I think. That if I bead it through it from the same direction as for the first time, then it would work too. So you just need to make your preference. How do you bead through the round 15 for the second time when you are going back towards the round 11, and then stick to it so it's all the same all around the motif. Cynthia is asking, said like it sounded like I went through the DELICA and then skipped the 11, but no, I'm exiting. Sorry if I didn't phrase it clearly. I'm exiting now the round 11, picking up the round 15. I'm beading through the DELICA, back through the round 15, and then I bead through the same round 11 that I was exiting before picking up the 15, and then the dagger and the round 11. And I'm doing the same again and again, 2 more times. So if you want to see it in detail, or if you have still a question about this part, then there are 2 more chances for me to show it to you. Then we will move on to the next step. Oh, I really like how it's coming together. What kind of colors are you working with today, ladies? Are you working with colors from the Tulip Mania box, or did you go for a different color combination this time? And bye, Nicolene. Take care. I hope you are all right. Have a nice weekend. So this was, I'm adding now the last round 15. This was, for me personally, this was the tricky part. And then the last part, it really feels like a very rewarding and like everything coming together. And Stellata nearly finished. So this is how it looks at the moment. Miriam says, my first one is with the beads from the lovely box, and in fact it's Miriam's very first box, so oh, that's very special then. Cindy says, she is making colors to match a shirt. That feels so nice. Also, Veronka did it with the first dagger motif this week. I don't know if you saw her picture in the club, but she beaded it matching her summer outfit, and that looked so lovely. I'm also curious about yours. Yosin says, I took the colors from the box plus turquoise. Turquoise is always a great addition. Sarah says rose gold and black. The daggers are with dots. Your previous one with the dots, the first motif, that also looked very pretty, Sarah. And then Margareta says, is there any tricky part for Erika? Never ever. Come on. Of course there might be. So for me, this was like, I could understand what's going on, but I had to like poke with my needle, and it was a little bit uncomfortable. It is a great stitch, but of course we have our preferences, everyone. So this was not my, it was a bit tricky for me to get the tension right, to make it work. But yeah, for the result, for the amazing result that Susie did, it's all well worth it. Connie is also with the original colors. Thank you, Tina. No, Connie is with black. Or the bag is black and you are doing the original colors. Or I misunderstood something. Because I don't see like replies, I just see comments one below another. So I start now step 6. I still like bead through a couple of beads to even out the tension. As pink and turquoise for Connie. So I even out the tension by beading through a few more beads. And Susie says, this stitch is needed for making the motif sturdier and daggers don't flop. Absolutely, and it's a clever little stitch and I love it. How you made it all sturdy. With daggers it can be tricky because they are big, so they can be, could be easily left floppy, but this is really an important and nice part of the design. It's just for me, for the first time, it was a little bit tricky to do it. But I think I was also in a bit of a hurry before the broadcast, so that's the reason. So step 6, more bling. So I turn to the opposite direction by beading through the second hole of the same dagger bead that I was exiting at the beginning of this step. I actually like to bead counterclockwise, so I'm going to hold my motif the opposite way to make it more comfortable, and I'm going to add 3mm PRECIOSA BICONE beads in between the second holes of the daggers. I'm using a different color now. I still have some from the box, the light amethyst ones, but I thought that the crystal sunrise chaton and the orange in it, it looks better with the rainbow tone of the orange rainbow tone of the PRECIOSA beads. So I'm adding more orange at this point. Always 1 3mm BICONE in between the daggers. And hi Katja, good to see you. And Sandra says, we certainly don't want floppy daggers. For sure. And I just saw you sitting on a horse. Is that you? I love horses. Margareta says, looks a little bit copper. A bit, yes, but I think the name of the original color is Orange Rainbow. I don't have a label on it, but I think that's the official. But it's indeed a bit copperish. Cynthia says, I sure wish we were all together making it with each other in person. That would be so fun. Indeed, Cynthia. Indeed. Actually, if you join tomorrow lunch break, then you can bead together and talk to fellow beaders. So it's not the same as sitting at the same table, of course, but at least we can talk to each other. By the way, tomorrow at the Beading School Academy lunch break, Andrea will be waiting for you. And she asked me, like, can I maybe show them what I brought back from Jablonec, from the 𝐂𝐿𝐴? And she does indeed have my permission to show you. So also, if you would like to ask her questions about her last trip to the 𝐂𝐿𝐴, where our beads are made, then tomorrow would be a great opportunity. Mm-hmm. Martha says, it's like adding sunshine. I desperately need sunshine. Indeed. Sandra says, when I was very, very young. So I added the bicones. This is how it looks like. Lots of sparkle. And let's see the last part. In step 7, I will be adding always 3 round 15s on top of a bicone. So I start by exiting a bicone bead. I pick up 3 pieces of round 15s, and then I bead through the same bicone, and I continue through the following dagger bead and the next bicone too. So when I pull my thread, then there is a little triangle formed from the round 15s sitting on top of the bicone bead. And I do this over and over again until I completed the whole circle. Cynthia says, I like the orange in it. It is a very pretty accent to the chaton and the daggers. I'm glad you like it, Cynthia. I found it a good combination. Also, Nicolene actually told me a little while ago that, Erika, there are not so many orange beads in the shop, and somehow I did not notice it, but I think she's right. There is not so much orange, but yeah, this orange rainbow color of the PRECIOSA bicones, I truly love it. And Martina says, I really love this motif. By the way, like, since my childhood, I have a habit of like sticking out my tongue when I'm really focusing on something. And now I'm really focusing on getting through the bicon, so I hope that I'm not sticking out my tongue. That's my focusing beader face, if it happens. Some of you might know that I'm sometimes doing some pole sport and hanging upside down. And once my teacher actually told me that you are sticking out your tongue even when you are hanging upside down. So I'm doing it unintentionally, but I hope I don't do it very often on video. Okay, Honey does that too. Honey, you need to join me on the video one day so I don't feel alone on this. Cynthia says my daughter does that too. So I hope that your motifs are coming together nicely. I was hesitating a bit if I should add here the iris round 15s or the dark purple colored round 15s, and I went with the iris ones. The name is actually, just to tell you, Metallic Gold Iris number 462. So I think it was a good decision. So I have the dark purple ones only in this, for me, tricky part, and everything else is done with the metallic gold iris. I love how also in this color the gold and purple and a bit of pink and a bit of orange and even a bit of green are melting into one another. So I think this is really a great color of MIYUKI seed beads. Okay, Cynthia says she likes it. It enhances it. Thank you. I'm very happy how it looks like. And now in step 9, I'm going to make, or step 8, sorry, I'm going to make this circle of round 15s sturdier. So I'm exiting now a dagger, and then I bead through the first round 15 from the group of 3. I skip the one in the middle, and I bead through the third one, and then I bead through the next dagger bead. So when I pull my thread, then this becomes pointier, and the dagger and the group of 3 round 15s are more connected, more tightly connected to each other. So this step is a great addition by Susie to make it really sturdy and nice and not floppy at all. That's like a risk with big beads. Thank you, Miriam. I'm also super curious of your stellatas, ladies. You did beautiful job with the other motifs that we've beaded during the past week. And I'm always saying that during the weekend, I will be offline. I will just relax and bead and go to the market and do some sports and whatever. But then I'm always ending up checking your jobbers in the club. Even if I'm like not commenting maybe, but I often can't go with, for 2 days without checking what's going on and what you are beading. Oh, I'm really happy with this one. Thank you so much, Susie, for this nice motif. By the way, like, fun fact that Susie designed this motif originally already during the Starry Night theme. It was in November and December when we were working with all kinds of blues and golden tones inspired by 𝐌𝐻𝐿's painting. And the same beads, everything that you need for Stellata, they were also included, but of course in different colors, in the Starry Night box. And that time she named it as Stella, that means star. But then there was not enough time to draw the tutorial, and we already had plenty of motifs to work with from the Starry Night box. So Zuzi went back to this motif when we started to work with the Tulip Mania box, and then changed the name from Stella Star to Stellata, what is a type of a tulip. So that's, I think, funny. And Cynthia says, some people were saying that their daggers were breaking in the group, and so I was wondering if you used a smaller needle, if that would help to not break the daggers so easy. Like, I've seen, unfortunately, Belinda were unlucky that her daggers cut the thread actually twice, not only once. I did not see breaking daggers, but of course it can happen. If the bead itself breaks, then that can be caused either indeed by a too thick needle, and then you can solve it by switching to a thinner one, size 12 tulip, for example, and or a thinner thread. So when you make several thread passes through the dagger, then it doesn't fill up that much by the thread, and you still have enough space to go around as many times as you need to. When if the dagger breaks the thread, and it can happen indeed with some of the coatings, I recommend using the heavily coated ones for motifs where you can go straight through the bead that is in front of the dagger, then the dagger, and then the next bead. So I hope it makes sense, but that the thread is not bending next to the dagger, but it goes straight. So that would help a bit. And if I need to make bends next to the dagger, like in the first signature motif, then there in the tips and tricks part of the tutorial, I actually wrote that for this motif, I recommend using the not coated daggers, the chalk white ones or the opaque ones, because those will work better. And Alicia says, sorry, this is off topic, but on the signature drawer with the daggers in the petals, I keep breaking my thread on the petals. I'm going too hard and they are still floppy. I don't recommend those for that pattern. As I said, those are heavily coated, so, and the edged ones, so I would use them for something else. For this motif, I recommend the chalk white ones or the opaque ones, and those will sit nicely and those will not break your thread. Sarah says she never broke a dagger. Thanks for sharing that. I also, with breaking beads, I have a good experience, but they indeed have a little bit thinner. They are a bit thinner in one part, so it can happen sometimes. And Cynthia is asking, if you used beeswax, would that help the thread from breaking? What kind of thread are you using? I recommend FIRELINE because it's super strong and it's already like sealed together. I don't use any kind of wax on the FIRELINE. I tried waxing my thread in the past, and when I was not using FIRELINE, and I did not like it because then there was residue from the wax on my beads. I know that some beaders like waxing, but I don't get the hang of it. Never got the hang of it. FIRELINE, I don't think that it's necessary. What I would be careful about is what I said, that with the heavily coated ones, I would go straight from the bead, dagger, next bead, and I would keep the chalk white ones and the opaque ones for trickier patterns where you have the thread bending. So, ladies, do you have any more questions? I finished my STELLATA in the meanwhile. And thank you so much, Susie, for this. I love the result. And before I would say goodbye, I want to show you the last page of the tutorial that Susie prepared for you. I don't know if you noticed it already, but she even prepared some ideas for you that how else can you finish the motif. And she has here an idea of connecting 3 motifs to each other and making it into a statement necklace. And a version where she didn't fill in daggers all around, and she actually beaded that version as a pair of earrings. As you can see, the difference is that she did not add the round 15s at the very end, so only the bicones. And I think it's super beautiful and very dramatic. Gisela likes it too. Margaret says, by the way, about the wax. Wax is only to make the tangling lighter. Thank you so much for sharing that, Margaret. As I said, I don't really have experience with waxing, so that's great to know. Sandra has an idea of using a bead reamer and softening the hole on the edges a little. That's definitely a good way to go about it. So if you don't have, thank you so much, Susie, for the pattern. If you don't have any more questions, then I would just like to remind you that until Tuesday, until coffee time with Erika, we have a little gift for our Beading School Academy students. So if you log into your account and place an order for Dagger Beads, gecko beads, for Rosetta cabochons, for rose petals, or oh, they are on the screen. I was like, oh my god, I can't remember the 5th one, the Diabolo. Then in case that you are a fuchsia level student, you automatically will receive 25% off of the price of this. If you are a turquoise level, then 20. And if you are a yellow level student, then 15% off the price of this. When Andrea traveled to the Crystal Valley 2 weeks ago, then actually she managed to buy quite a lot of this, and we got a great price, so we would love to share that discount with you. And in case that you choose beads for at least 50 euros, it can be including shipping. Then afterwards, I will send you the tutorial for the jewel that you see on the screen as a gift. So that's our special offer until Tuesday's coffee time with Erika. Thank you so much for your time today. Vanya has one more question. What beads will be available next week? I'm sorry, Vanya, but I don't like to blow the element of surprise. So, sorry, That will be the only question today that I'm not going to answer. If there will be new beads. So thank you so much, ladies. Enjoy your weekend. Wishing you lots of creative ideas, and see you next week. And make sure to join Andrea tomorrow for lunch break. Bye bye.